Hello there, Gemini. Thank you for stopping by for your weekly tarot forecast for the week of March 2nd through the 8th. I am using the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg once again. And so what we have coming up for you, Gemini, is we have the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords, this shows up on Monday, and this is a card that just says that you're obsessing about something that is probably out of your control, but it's really hard for you to think about anything but this particular thing. It's making it hard for you to focus on life. It may even give you a hard time sleeping. So that's kind of what I see you going through on Monday. Obviously, since this is not something that you can control, the best advice I can give you is to, when you feel this kind of coming in, give yourself some distance, step back and give yourself some objectivity on the situation so that you don't have to go through this lack of focus and really, putting all this energy onto something that you really have no control over to start with. All right, so then on Tuesday, what we have coming up is we have the Five of Cups showing up in reverse for you, Gemini. And this just really means that on Tuesday you're having a situation where you had already juggled your priorities before. So basically, before Tuesday, something happened that disappointed you, and so you decided you didn't want to put as much energy or effort and possibly even finances into a certain situation or relationship. And so what's going on Tuesday is that now something has happened that has kind of negated that disappointment that you felt, and so now you're taking those priorities that you had adjusted and you're moving them back to the way they were before. So you're going back to putting your energy and your efforts and possibly your finances into that thing that was the priority before the original disappointment. Okay, so that's Tuesday, Gemini. Wednesday, what we're looking at is we have the Knight of Coins in reverse. Nine of Coins in reverse just means that you are splurging on Wednesday. You're like, I don't care about the budget. I have had enough of living in the budget. I am going to get this thing, whatever this thing is. So I see you splurging for most of you. For some of you, I don't see it so much of a splurge as something coming up and kind of attacking the budget a little bit. So maybe you have a big expense that you weren't expecting, and I see that showing up on Wednesday. So either a splurge or a big expense that you weren't expecting coming up on Wednesday for you, Gemini. Now, Thursday, what we have coming up here is the transformation card. Yes, I know it says death. I call it transformation because, let's face it, that's what death really is. And besides that, people don't get near as scared about transformation as they do death, although none of us likes change anyway. So anyhow, Thursday, we have the transformation card. So this actually is a really good thing. This is just talking about that you are going to be having some major changes on Thursday within yourself. So we are talking about core value changes. For those of you who haven't heard me say it before, core values are those values that we learned before we're old enough to know better. So we learn these values by watching how our parents interact with other people or how our parents handle certain situations. We learn these values by watching them and absorbing as little babies and small children. So when you have a core value change, what's going on is you kind of become an adult, and all of a sudden it's like you almost like wake up and you realize, wait a second, this thing is not working for me. When you realize that this core value is not working for you, then you have to figure out, okay, well, what will work for me? And you kind of have to replace that core value if you want to find something that will work for you so you can have a more productive and happy life. And so that's actually what's going on Thursday. You're realizing, wait a second, that doesn't really make sense. Why do I do that? Let's change that up a little bit. So that's what I see going on Thursday, and this is huge. This is definitely life-changing type stuff. Now, Friday, Three of Cups showing up. Three of Cups just means Friday having a good time with some friends. This could be, even at work, if you have people that you get along well with at work around the water cooler. This can also be getting a nice email from somebody, maybe sharing some text messages with some friends, or even doing some face-to-face time, going out to dinner or just hanging out with friends on Friday. Now, Saturday, what we have coming up is we have the Four of Cups in reverse. The Four of Cups in reverse means that you had yourself a nice little pity party, but now you're over it. Thank you very much. Now you're looking around and you're seeing your opportunities, and you're not just being, oh, woe is me. Life is so terrible. You're kind of over that phase, thank goodness. Now you're looking around at your opportunities and you're going, oh, you know what? There's still a lot of good stuff out here, even if everything isn't exactly the way I thought it would be or should be. And so that's the place that I see you really spending a lot of time in on Saturday, of looking around at opportunities, kind of readjusting some things, and getting yourself back in some forward progress again. Now, Sunday, 2 of clubs in reverse, Gemini. 2 of clubs in reverse just means that you have a decision to make on Sunday and you are procrastinating about this decision. Now what you have to decide about is you have at least 2 things, for some of you there's going to be even more, that you feel very passionate about both of these things and you would like to move forward with these things. Here's the trick. To move forward with these things, you have to have a lot of energy and effort to be able to focus on them. So as long as you have more than one, you don't have enough for either one to be able to move forward. So you have to really choose one or the other. Once you choose one or the other, then you have enough energy and effort to be able to focus into that one thing and make it move forward. So that's the trick here. You don't get to move forward at all until you let something go. And that's what makes the decision hard, is because you really care about both of these or all of these things or people. So that's what makes it hard, and that's why you're procrastinating on this decision. But the best thing you can do is just make this decision one way or another so that you can move forward. And I will tell you too, being a psychic, this is what I do readings. When you have this type of situation and you're not sure what to choose, get a reading. Get a reading. What I would do if somebody came to me with that problem, or actually I should say what I do when people come to me with that problem, is I just look at, okay, what happens if you choose this? Okay, so we look at what the future brings in that scenario. Okay, well, what happens if you choose this other option? And we look at what the future brings in that scenario. So this is the perfect thing to get a reading about if you have a tough decision like this to make, to decide how you really want to move forward. Okay? So enough about plugging myself there, Geminis. That was your week. For those of you who would like to have a private session with me, please realize I do more than psychic tarot. I also do mediumship and spiritual healing. So check out my website. I'm at amista.info, amista.info. Once you're there and you've poked around a little bit, if you still feel like I'm the best person for you to work with, feel free to contact me and we will set up a session for you as quickly as possible. And for the rest of you, I will see you all next week. Everyone have a great week. Peace out.